Hello and welcome everybody. Today, let's talk about what happens if Thor fights Captain Marvel, something that has never happened, not even in the comics. Who will turn out to be victorious? Does Captain Marvel even stand a chance against the God of Thunder?
I like this one.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe might be only 10 years old, but it has introduced us to some of the most powerful characters, be it Thanos, Odin, Thor or Captain Marvel. And yes, let's not forget the Hulk, Hela and Surtur. If you are an avid comic book fan, then you know that Captain Marvel is no match for Thor. It won't even be a fair fight. Thor is much stronger than Carol Danvers in the comics. And if you ask why we are talking about these two, if it is so obvious, well, the thing is, last year the president of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, said on record that Captain Marvel is going to be the strongest superhero in the MCU. So people were naturally curious as to how she can be more powerful than the God of Thunder.
Are you Thor, the god of hammers?
In the Captain Marvel movie, we saw Carol Danvers going binary and she took down an entire Kree fleet on her own. She's definitely a one-woman army, but is that enough to take down the strongest Avenger? Well, the answer is both yes and no. If Thor fights Captain Marvel with his Stormbreaker, then I'm sorry to say that Carol Danvers stands little to no chance. Even without the Stormbreaker, Thor is a fair match for Captain Marvel, but with a Stormbreaker it's not even a fight. In Avengers Infinity War, Thor forges the Stormbreaker, which is supposed to be the strongest weapon in the Asgard, and the Stormbreaker not only cuts through the energy beam of Infinity Gauntlet, but goes deep into Thanos' chest. And remember that Thanos has this impenetrable skin, which is one of the reasons why Doctor Strange didn't try cutting his one arm off, since it wouldn't have worked. So if a Stormbreaker can do that to a person who can just snap his fingers and half the universe ceases to exist, it would probably be enough for Thor to end the fight within minutes. So let's get a Stormbreaker out of the way. It is just Thor vs Captain Marvel. Now this is where things get pretty interesting and a little tricky. To an extent, Thor and Captain Marvel both share the same range of powers. Thor has this lightning strike, whereas Captain Marvel has her photon blasts. And they both glow up, which in case of Thor is called the Thor Force, and for Captain Marvel it is her binary form that greatly amplifies her powers and also allows her to fly. So both of our heroes have astonishing brute force and energy abilities, and both are trained fighters. But since Thor is some 1500 years old and Carol Danvers is only some 50 to 60 years old, Thor had way longer time to sharpen his fighting skills, and he had fought more than 3000 enemies who were strong enough to kill him. But every time he has found a way to win, as he himself says in Avengers Infinity War. And later in the movie, he demonstrates that by literally bringing the most powerful person in the universe to his knees. So every fact and evidence that we observe points us to only one conclusion, that it is going to be very hard for Captain Marvel to beat Thor. But she can. There is a way. No, we are not going to give her some extra weapons. No weapons. If Carol Danvers ever hopes to beat Thor, she has to continuously maintain her binary form, that is, when she is all growing up. Since in her normal form, Thor can probably knock her out with a single punch. Let's not forget, Thor is too strong even without the Thor Force, as we saw in Thor Ragnarok when he fought the Hulk. Don't mistake me here, even in a normal form, Carol Danvers has incredible durability and has superhuman strength. But the fact is, Thor packs a punch big enough to knock her out. It would be something like Thanos vs Captain America in Infinity War, where we saw Thanos dealing that crushing punch that luckily didn't kill the Cap. So to maintain her binary form, Captain Marvel needs an energy source, which can either be blasts or explosions or even Thor's lightning. But now the question is, how do you beat Thor? We know that Thor can be defeated, as we saw in the opening scenes of Avengers Infinity War, where it took Thanos, who already had the Power Stone, and his 4 henchmen to beat the King of Asgard. The Russo brothers, the directors of the Avengers Infinity War and upcoming Avengers Endgame, have said that Thor can be depleted and he too needs to recharge his strength. So all Captain Marvel has to do is wear Thor down without herself running out of juice. Now since Thor doesn't have any weapon in this scenario, he can't fly. To fly, Thor earlier used his Mjolnir as a propeller, and now he uses the Stormbreaker. And since Captain Marvel can fly at incredible speeds, it shouldn't be a problem for her to hit Thor with her energy blasts from a safe distance. And probably once in a while deal a power punch at extraordinary speeds. It's like a boss fight in a game, and if you have played the Dark Souls series, which happens to be one of my favorites, you know what I mean. The bosses are 10 to 100 times stronger than you, and yet you win by maintaining a safe distance and avoiding the hitbox. You hit strategically and wait for the right moments to deal some damage, and when you run out of stamina, you fool around until you recharge. Likewise, Captain Marvel needs to have a nearby energy source figured out to recharge her binary form, and if Thor uses the lightning to hit her, it's an added advantage as it will only help her. So there you have it. If Thor fights without the Stormbreaker and Captain Marvel manages to stay in her binary form for the entire fight and deals strategic damages, she wins. But in every other scenario, it will probably be Thor who will be the last one standing. In Avengers Endgame, we hope we get to see Captain Marvel take on Thor because that's for sure what fans want. And I think we will see that. Maybe Thanos uses the Mind Stone on her and she turns against the Avengers just like the Hawkeye did in first Avengers movie. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to enter the giveaway.